Hey everybody, my name is Jamie Jolly. For my very first reflection, I decided to do the movie slash book To Kill a Mockingbird and how it relates to the phrase "the end does not justify the means." You may or may not be familiar with the phrase "the end does not justify the means," so I'll give an example for you. Say you stole somebody's life savings, but you donated to charity. Most people will still consider this act to be morally incorrect because, thou shalt not steal. Regardless if your intentions were good to donate to charity, you might as well have just put it into your pocket. So, before I go on to explain how this phrase goes along with To Kill a Mockingbird, I decided that I should probably summarize the story for you because not everybody was forced to read this book in high school as a civil rights reading like I was. So, this story is about a white lawyer named Atticus Finch who takes on a case for a black man named Tom Robinson who is being accused of raping a white female that he was doing work for. The female came on to Tom, but Tom did not rape or beat the lady, as evidence was pointed out throughout the trial. Both the jury full of white men and Tom's sympathy to the female because her father was the one who was beating her, he was found guilty and ultimately murdered before even going to jail. The story continues on to show the backlash Atticus and his family got for helping a black man, as this book was set in the early 1930s, before, during, and after the trial. Bob Ewell is the father that framed Tom Robinson for raping and beating his daughter when he was actually the one that beat her and was just upset because they kind of had a romantic relationship and he didn't want his daughter to be with a black man. Bob even tried to attack and kill Atticus's two children because of how he was humiliated in court by Atticus for his claims that he beat his daughter, but he was stopped and killed by a quiet, innocent man named Boo. This is a picture of Boo. The sheriff decides to play it off like Bob fell and stabbed himself to keep Boo out of trouble, and the story just ends there. The end of the story is supposed to make the audience feel relieved and content that there was actually a good white man that was willing to help an innocent black person to kind of distract us from Tom not getting his justice and dying for no reason. His freedom would have been a much better ending. I did not enjoy this book or the film because it seemed to follow the cliche theme of a heroic white man helping a poor black man. There was no justice here for the one person that seemed to deserve it most. Don't get me wrong, Atticus's actions and help he gave to Tom is super awesome, especially in that time period where it did not happen as often. The end does not justify the means is prevalent in the making of this book because, yeah, sure, Boo saved his children and did not get in trouble for killing out of defense, but does this ending really justify the fact that an innocent black man was killed during this film simply because he is black? No, it doesn't. Don't get me wrong, I do understand where the author, Harper Lee, was keeping it as prevalent to the time period as possible. A black man in the 30s most definitely would not get away as a free man, innocent or not, in this situation. But I have a deep feeling this book was written to still glorify the white man like most books now and then still seem to do. The only justice that I would claim to be served here was the killing of Bob Ewell by Boo because Bob beat his daughter and got away with the death of innocent Tom. All in all, I believe the quote, "the end does not justify the means," is very prevalent in this story, not as the theme of the book, but the book as a whole. The killing of a very bad white man does not and will never justify the story allowing an innocent black man to die and glorifying a white man who could not clear his name.